On behalf of everyone at FX, I want to thank you all for joining us for our 2020 virtual San Diego Comic-Con panel for our hit comedy series, What We Do in the Shadows. With a cast the Boston Globe calls perfection from top to bottom, What We Do in the Shadows follows a household of vampires living in Staten Island as they try to navigate the modern world with the help of their loyal familiar. The first season came to a shocking conclusion when we discovered that Guillermo is actually a descendant of the legendary vampire killer Van Helsing. In season 2, the show doubled down on the drama and silliness to deliver another hilarious season. Television critics across the country are calling Shadows the best comedy on TV right now, and we don't disagree. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce our moderator for today's panel. We love his killer high fives, and you may recognize him from his work on Future Man, The Kaminsky Method, Silicon Valley, and now What We Do in the Shadows. Please welcome our favorite reanimated familiar, Haley Joel Osment.
Thank you, everyone, for being with us today. It's going to be a real treat to talk to everyone from our quarantine places all over the world. And I'd first like to congratulate everyone at What We Do in the Shadows for such an amazing and hilarious second season. So now I would like to introduce the cast and creators of What We Do in the Shadows. Please welcome Harvey Guillen. There he is, working.
Hey, buddy.
How's it going, dude? Please welcome Kayvan Novak. There he is. Hello, Kayvan. Please welcome Natasha Dimitriou. There she is. Yeah, it's working. Please welcome Matt Berry. Good day. Please welcome Mark Proksch.
Who?
Please welcome Stephanie Robinson. And please welcome Paul Sims. Hey. Alrighty. Great to see all of your faces. I hope everybody's doing well under the circumstances. My first question is to Harvey, because as you mentioned, we left off season 1 with a huge cliffhanger about your character's lineage, and you followed a pretty dramatic arc leading up to that terrific finale in season 2. So could you tell us a little bit about how your character evolved, as a response to revelations that he had about his character?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that we were going to go in that direction in season 1, so to see the trajectory of Guillermo's storyline has kind of been awesome and welcomed. I think no one expected it. I don't think the fans did. I didn't, and season 2 started with a bang. Just as you know, we were off and running, killing vampires and trying to stop evil from getting to my housemates. So I really enjoy that. I'm really enjoying that Guillermo's kind of torn between, what's probably his destiny and what he's longing to be, which are two great things to play, and also still being loyal to the people who are complete assholes to him sometimes, but he's loyal to a T, so he still loves those housemates. So yeah, it's been fun. I love it.
And you had some pretty incredible stunt work to do in that finale. What was the process like for that?
That was fun. I didn't know that was going to happen until the first episode of season 2, and then, I got paired off with Tig, our stunt coordinator, and started going to the gym and, working out, which I didn't think I was going to be doing, which is good for me, just to, build, stamina and stuff. But I all the stunt stuff I did, I saw as, a dance. So it was, a 5, 6, 7, 8, so in that sense, I was like, we're just doing a musical. And it paid out because it looked really cool on camera. I didn't know it was going to look well, but people have been really been responding to it, especially people who are good. I like seeing someone who can kick ass, who's not as stereotypical, just some round kid, so that's been fun to get that feedback from the fans.
Perfect. Kayvan, there are a lot of up and downs for the relationship between Nandor and Guillermo in this season. Do you think that Nandor truly has turned a corner in realizing that he sort of needs Guillermo, or despite that big blow up at the end, do you think they're going to revert back to their previous dynamic?
That's a good question. I would say that, it's a really dysfunctional relationship that they have, and I think that the way that Nandor and Guillermo have this kind of codependency together, where on one hand Guillermo really wanted to be a vampire, and now he realizes that actually he doesn't need to be a vampire anymore because he's a vampire killer. So why does he want to be a vampire? So and Nandor needs Guillermo because no one else listens to a damn word Nandor says in the house apart from Guillermo. So who's he going to boss around, So now that, this big reveal has happened, is this a spoiler? Has everyone seen it? Everyone's seen it, right? So everyone knows the last bit in the last episode. But what I'm saying, and I'll get to the point, is that I have no idea how this relationship is going to evolve now that, because why would Guillermo stick around? Because, he could kill Nandor. So Nandor's basically got someone that could kill him. And that, I don't know. I'm concerned.
Stephanie and I have some ideas about where it's going, but we're not allowed to say yet.
Okay.
Oh, good. That was going to be my question to you guys, because I have to congratulate you additionally. It's been greenlit for a third season, which everyone's excited about. But I guess, that's all going to be under wraps as you guys write from your vampire hideouts for the rest of the year.
Yes, it will be very exciting news for the Comic-Con crowd. We know what's happening and we can't tell you. But it is,
good.
But it will be very exciting.
That's fantastic. Natasha, you worked extensively with a puppet version of yourself this season. Alongside the writing, I was lucky enough to see all of the improvisation that happens on set. Was it possible to improvise with your set and with yourself? And what did you record your voice first, or was that just going with the script at that point and the voiceovers later?
I did all the recording of the voice actually in lockdown. So if it doesn't sound that good, that's why. And it was very, very easy to improvise with myself because I am a fantastic actress and improviser.
Did everybody do their ADR? Sorry, please.
No, you go.
I also did my ADR from this room. Did everybody do their ADR from home or in a closet or something? That was fun. But I cut you off, Natasha. I'm sorry.
No, that's what I was going to say. It's always been my dream to work against someone who's as good as me, and finally I got to be able to. The two of you and Matt had an extended musical episode in that club. I was curious, Matt, how much music was written for that episode, and how much of it didn't make it into the show?
I don't know, because I haven't seen that episode. So I wrote a whole load of things. I don't know what made it and what didn't, but they're all sort of less than 30 seconds long. There was no, sort of fully formed songs. I'm not sure.
I have seen it, and there was some amazing songs written that made it in, and there was a couple, I'm very pleased to say, that me and Matt penned in his little dressing room on a keyboard that also made it in. But there was some amazing ones. The hoop skirt was a poop skirt that was written by the writers, and that was one of my favourites.
What's the Hitler one too? Was that the same song?
That's another one that was written by the writers. Yeah, it's amazing.
That one got me too. Yeah. Mark, I heard that you were very ill during the episode of your big promotion. What was it like working in that freezing city and flying around with all your new powers in that episode?
It's, when you get sick filming and you're on location, it sucks. You have none of your creature comforts with you. And then to boot, it's in, Toronto, Canada, which is very cold. So that, but you just take a lot of drugs and smile, and you take the smooth with the rough, I guess. The flying was fun. It's a little painful, as all the other vampires know and have to do it much more than I do, so I can't really complain about that. But yeah, I mean, you just, it's work, so you go to work, you do it.
Yeah.
Hopefully the episode didn't suffer because of me being sick, but.
Do you think that Colin is the most powerful vampire in the house overall?
I mean, I think it's relative. Like, we all have our own specialties that we can play on each other. Clearly, if he gets them all in a room and they're not being too aware of what he's doing, then yeah, he can cause a lot of problems. But at the same time, Guillermo is very powerful now, and Kayvon has his powers, and Matt has his, and Natasha is loud. So, I mean, we all have things that are powers. So.
Great. Stephanie and Paul, how far in advance did you know that Jim the Vampire would be Mark Hamill? How much time did you have to incorporate that into the writing for that episode?
I feel like we had enough time. Like, it was better than what sort of happened in the past. There's been times on this show where it's because of visa issues, getting actors to Toronto, and everyone's busy schedule, and we shoot so close to the holidays that it can be sometimes hard to lock people down. But in this specific instance, I think we were lucky that we knew, like, somewhat ahead of time that he was going to be there, and had enough time to write the part specifically geared towards him, I think.
True. Yeah. Was the pool cue lightsaber thing written, or did that happen on set?
That was one of those things that I think happened on set. If I'm not mistaken, it was the stunt coordinators who came up with it while they were rehearsing, and I think maybe it was a little bit of Yana, the director, Gorskaya, who did an awesome job directing that episode, and that was something that was designed for that specific space when they were sort of blocking it all out.
Yeah. I think when we originally blocked it all out, we were just trying to think of all the ways they could fight. We thought, then maybe they'll hit pool cues at each other. And then when it was on the day and we were shooting it, and you saw Mark Hamill pick up the pool cue, everyone on set went, "Oh my God!" actually him.
I've never seen Matt so giggly.
Well, you've got to understand what that was like. I mean, I was stood in front of Luke Skywalker, and he held something like that right in front of me. And it doesn't matter how cool you think you are or in character you are, you're not. You're 7 years old with Luke Skywalker right in front of you.
Yeah.
Pretty special.
That's awesome. I'd love to ask you guys about the directors you have on the show. I got to work with Kyle Newacek, who was incredible and did several episodes this season. But you can just tell that there's a different approach from every director working on this. How do you guys work with each of these individual directors, and how does that approach throughout the season between them? It's just for anybody.
And I'll jump in. The interesting thing is Kyle's great, and also our editor who edited the movie and edited the first season of the show, Yana Gorskaya, directed 2 episodes for the first time. And that, I mean, I don't know how it was as an actor, but for me, that was a really fun experience because she has seen every single piece of footage, knows how the show goes together, and really came at it with the approach of knowing what we needed and what we didn't need. And you don't usually get that from a first-time director, but she wasn't really a first-time director since she was so familiar with the show, I think.
I loved it. You would have no clue that she was a first-time director at all.
Yeah.
Also, no matter what director's there, I send little bits of paper with notes on to all the actors saying, "Stop up." And that. So there are lots of directors, but I'm always directing.
What was it that you said? From this point on, I refuse to be directed. Was that that woman you're telling me about? I can't remember.
That was an actor that I worked with who said she was self-directing.
Yes.
She was so upset with the production that she was going to self-direct, so she'd be like, and action, and zoom. Camera 1 on me, and action. Herself, it was good.
Yeah. This show, as I found out in the few days that I was there, is very nocturnal, like its characters, and it's cold when you're shooting. I love being able to see in certain scenes that the snow on the ground is not someone spraying the back lot in California. That's real snow that you're up working in. How challenging is it for all of you to get through those months working through the night and trying to sleep all day on such a grueling show like this? And added to that, all the time in the makeup trailer with all the elaborate stuff that you guys are wearing.
Oh, lots of Captain's Boil, right, Paul?
Yes, there's a delicious restaurant in Toronto called Captain's Boil, which I would love to get a free meal from. It's grueling. It is. I mean, I'm a nocturnal person, so I don't mind it. But even it starts to wear on me. There'll be weeks where you start work at 6 p.m. and you don't see sunlight except when you're going home. It's hard. I can't imagine being an actor doing it.
I think it's both. It makes you mad, but that's kind of good for the show because you get sort of become like a vampire. And then also, but then you also are still human. So sometimes you're like, oh, I think I'm going to die. Mm-hmm. But it's like a really funny, very like, not halcyon, it's sort of very weird, surreal experience. But that kind of works for the show, I think.
I think that too, like it is, I mean, there are definitely waves and stages to it. Like at the beginning, it sort of does feel like you're at a very long, extended sleepover with your friends, like at a theater camp, and it's fun, and you get to do whatever you want and eat whatever you want. Your parents are telling you to go to bed. But then there is a point where your body just starts shutting down and you're turning green and yellow all of a sudden because you haven't seen the sun in months and you've only eaten deviled eggs.
It doesn't help if they dye your hair black, because then your face looks even more sort of drawn out.
Yeah, it's not ideal. I mean, it's really not. And, you know, as much as we all love Toronto, filming in such a cold place doesn't help when you're, you know, it's the 7th week and you have a outdoor night shoot and, you know, you can't feel your feet. And the crew isn't as babied as the actors. And so, you know, they start falling and getting sick and stuff. So it can be hard, but hopefully, like I said before, it doesn't make it on the screen.
It doesn't.
It does.
It doesn't. I can't hear my T's. One thing that does make it on the screen is working in that vampire house. I had never seen so many lit candles on one set before, which adds to the atmosphere while you're in there. What is it like working in a environment like that where you can travel a lot of ground? Is that helpful to certain improv scenarios where you can move from room to room and you're truly in kind of this enclosed place to play?
Yep.
It's incredible. It's like incredible. It's like one of my favorite parts of the whole show is the set. It's just I can never believe it. Every day I go on set, I'm like, I still can't believe how detailed and how this is like a weird vampire house. I want to take it on the road, get people to visit it.
I mean, it's, you know, our designer Kate Bunch did just an absolutely incredible job every time she's asked to come up with something. And I've never in any of my shows worked in such an elaborate and really just beautiful set. and it lends itself to your creativity, which helps a lot.
No, it does. I mean, I was asked about this afternoon, and I said to the fellow that was interviewing that it's not only the best set that I've ever worked on, it's the best set I've ever seen. We had this music room that was built for us for what on screen will probably be about 12 seconds. But the detail and the stuff that was in that, Wanetash, it was incredible.
Yeah, I honestly, they would just say, "Oh, there's another room." It is unbelievable. And the only issue with lit candles is you can't stop and have photos taken because you will set yourself on fire, which is what I did. I did do that, and it was completely my fault. Luckily, the set there's loads of fire sort of wardens and people, so he put me out, and it was completely my fault. So I was like, "Get picture of me and Matt," and I set myself on fire.
I've never seen people run towards an actor like that. The terror in their eyes was hilarious.
It's embarrassing enough. And then you set yourself on fire. It's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Is there any sort of policy for what you're allowed to take home with you? Just the artwork itself. There's so many portraits and things like behind Stephanie's shoulder. Over there, I guess that's the policy. I guess that found its home off the set.
Oh, is that from the Necromancer's Hut?
Yeah, that's from Benny Wong.
Oh yeah.
Oh right.
I guess the policy is grab whatever you can get and hope no one notices. Because I did, but no one informed me about the policy, so I didn't get anything.
That never made it. I had more people somewhere.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, wow.
That's incredible. I remember one night when we were in the trailer very late that someone's teeth were misplaced, and we had to do a search through the Winnebago for that. How has the adjustment been to the teeth season to season? Do you forget that they're there after a while?
That's not the issue. It's forgetting to put them in before a scene.
Yeah. Forgetting to put them in after lunch, and then you're like, well, that whole scene is unusable because I'm an idiot and forgot to put my teeth in.
Yeah.
But I think they really help.
Which is, I have done it lots of times. I know.
And also, Matt to try and play a prank on me, and I still don't know what it is, put some red stuff in the front of his fang. So I kept going, Matt, you've got something red in your teeth. He'd go, no, it's okay. And to this day, I don't know what it was. I'd be like, have you been eating some blood?
Harvey, you were kind enough to have me on your Instagram show Before the Shadows. How has that been running that in parallel with the broadcast of the series and interacting with fans in that way?
Well, it started off as a one-time thing, and I asked like Stephanie Robinson to come on, and it was just like me on my phone and like adding, a guest. And then after the first episode aired, fans were like, okay, so when's the next week? And I wasn't planning on doing it every week. And then I really kind of just said, well, I'm not going anywhere. We're all like hunkered down. We're going to be at home. And so I really just did it because the fans were asking for it. So to create that content to like show BTS, and sharing those videos and just having fun, and Natasha like showing clips of like, people's past work, and just being, able to give them something because it was a weird time and people were getting antsy, and the show is, it's a 30-minute show. So people are always like, it's not long enough, and I want more. And so I think I just did it as here's something, like something fun, and it turned into like a whole season. And I think we shot 14 episodes of Before the Shadows, which is more than like, because we had like Kyle and like the directors and writers and producers and, and Paul was on, like, so, and people really love to know what goes on, to make the show, which is, and I like to know, there's like stories that I didn't know, I didn't know where Paul grew up, and like we had a whole conversation of where he grew up and like that, and people like that stuff. So it became this whole like show thing, and it was time consuming though, because it was like a day a week kind of thing, because you have to like write the show, write the jokes, write the interview, pull artwork from fans online. So my sister actually jumped on board and produced it. So she was like producing it and like helping me write it. And like we literally were like, working with, we wanted to stream simultaneously through all platforms. So like every social media, like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So at the same time when you watch a show, you can watch it around the world, but it also gets recorded and put into a website that you can watch later. So if you weren't awake to watch a show, you can go to Before the Shadows and watch all the episodes. So it's a lot of work, but I'm glad we did it. And
Harvey, you're using up all your stuff for the Comic-Con panel about what we do before the shadows. You're using it
there's way more stuff that we didn't even get to. I didn't even get to interview everyone that I want to interview. So there's way more stuff. There's always more stuff to talk about.
Definitely. We're all doing this remotely, obviously. So just to talk about that a little bit, how has everyone's quarantine been? Sort of scattered across the world right now.
I've been really busy doing a show called What We Do Before the Shadows. So that's up a lot of my time. Which is just filming Harvey and his sister being very, very stressed.
for Stephanie and I, it's been really busy because the quarantine started right when we were starting to edit the show. So we had to figure out how to edit remotely, how to color correct remotely, how to sound mix remotely, how to get everyone's loop and ADR lines remotely, how to get Mark's voice to sound like it wasn't in a big echoey room. Told Mark to put
for some reason my ADR was an issue, but it was fine how I recorded it for Better Call Saul. It was fine when I recorded it for any number of other shows, but for this one,
we have very high standards here. I mean, we don't just go with whatever works. It's perfect.
There's K-Man. I had a question for K-Man, but he's gone again.
What's going on?
K-Man's been talking about the whole time.
I guess that I'll throw this question to everybody else. Most of our characters have had successful and complicated romantic adventures. Do you think there's a potential for for Nandor to find love in season 3? Obviously Laszlo and Nadia have their centuries-long romance and all that. Do you think we'll see that plot line emerge for Nandor?
Very good question, Haley. I wonder.
It's almost as if he's looking at the big bulletin board that's right off.
Turn the camera. Turn your computer.
Obviously Nandor is lonely, and now he's
look at him there.
I think if there's any preview we can give about season 3, it's that they all have something that they're searching for. Nandor might be searching for love. Colin still doesn't know how he became an energy vampire. He's just rolled with it all these years. There might be a search that he goes on, and there might be new duties, and I'm giving too much away. But that is an excellent question, which makes us think that we're anything that people want to see.
And I guess that I'll plow ahead with a question you may not be able to answer as well. We saw a big broadening of the magical world and the creatures that live in it this year. What sort of creatures do you think are still out there for our characters to interact with? We saw trolls and witches. Are we going to see more of that menagerie in season 3, do you think?
Yes, there are, and I'm trying to think of a good one to say that won't spoil anything. Oh, well,
there are some creatures that live on edifices, right? Can you say that?
Oh, there's one.
I have an idea for like.
I've turned myself into a cat. Hi.
Can you write with some sort of like vampire puppies or kittens so we can play with some small animals on set, please? Because Mark isn't a small animal anymore. He's got really big, so I can't play with him anymore.
I will say that the vampires do get a hellhound to protect them. That's all I'm saying.
You heard it here
Does
first.
that mean we're going to have that animal guy back?
Yeah, he's great.
Well, we'll give him a lot of notice about what we need the hellhound to do, and then the hellhound will do whatever it wants to do, I assume, if past experience is any indicator.
I felt like I was doing something wrong just standing next to him.
Yeah. What's? Have there ever been any live bats on set? Because there's lots of transforming into bats, but has that all been CGI, or did you ever get a fun
That's
little
all-
box with some guys?
Yeah, we've had a goat,
We've had raccoons, live raccoons on set.
Nice.
Live
some dogs, so a whole pack of dogs. I feel like there's been one other animal. I can't remember what it would be.
The squirrel.
A live
squirrel.
dog with me.
There was a lizard.
Oh, there was a lizard. There was a gecko.
There was
That's
a
it.
gecko and there was a squirrel. Yes.
Small dinosaur of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bat is actually, you wouldn't believe how, with a show with this production value, the bat quite often when we need an eye line is literally a rubber bat on a stick that they wave, and I'm always like, oh, haha, very good. What? And they're like, no, that's the bat.
Better than a tennis ball.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I'm getting the red light, so it's been really wonderful talking to all of you and seeing your faces. Thank you so much for coming today. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Harvey, Natasha, Stephanie, Matt, Mark, Paul, K-Van, I hope you all are doing well, and hope to see you all soon on the other side of this. So congratulations on everything,
Thanks,
and we're looking forward to season 3. Great talking to you guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care.